Where have all the Filipinos gone? I was shocked. I've just come back from Malaysia after spending 8 days there, and it was the first thing I noticed. Lack of overseas Filipino workers. Couldn't believe it. So in this video, we're going to look at the things that have changed in Malaysia since the last time I was there, which was 5 years ago, just over. And yeah, we'll try and understand why. Let's get into the video. So if you've been following my channel, you'll know that I've been in KL. I was there for just over 8 days, I think. 8 days or 9 days, doesn't matter. Had a great time there. Did all the usual tourist spots, you know, Batu Caves, with my monkey mates. That's always a good one. Climbing the 272 steps up to the top, which I managed to do. It was very hot as well. There was no shade, so you know you're going up, and you've got the sun beating down on you. And we did it. I think it was late morning, so it was hot. But yeah, it was worth a visit. I mean, I've been there before, but to see the place again, thanks, bro. Just getting a wee coffee here. So I got the bananas in one of the markets that I also made a video of, Tamantun, Dr. Ismail market, where they have a lot of livestock and stuff. And yeah, it was good to visit there. I had never been there before. But most of the things I did, I've seen before, like, well, first of all, the physical changes. Let's talk about the physical changes in Malaysia, well, in KL. I did want to maybe go down to Malacca, but I never made it. I've been to Malacca before, so. But the physical changes, the obvious ones. First of all, you've got Merdeka Tower. And then the other obvious one that I could see was TRX, that's the Tun Razak Exchange. So that looks like it's finished. But when I was in a taxi going from the airport at KLIA to my hotel, the taxi driver said it wasn't finished. But I mean, it looks finished to me, unless maybe on the inside it's not finished, but that looks good. We did have a walk over there to TRX station, got on the wrong train and got lost. Ended up in KLCC, but that looks good. So you got Merdeka Tower, a TRX exchange. They are the obvious ones that I could see. Now there are some like smaller changes, like I noticed in Central Market, they've modernised it completely. They have like a big brand new supermarket with a restaurant inside it. So there are physical changes, but for me, the biggest shock, as I said, was lack of Filipinos, because when I was there just over 5 years ago, I left in the beginning of January 2019. And after spending a fantastic 8 years in Malaysia. And when I was there, the whole time I was there, there was lots of Filipinos there. That's where I met my wife. She's from Philippines. And you know, we got married in Malaysia. Our son was conceived in Malaysia. So, you know, it was a fantastic time. And the Filipinos were a great addition to the Malaysian workforce. So during my time there, the 8 days that I spent there, myself and my mate Andy, we actually went to Kotaraya and we had lunch in the Filipino restaurant, Eat Sa Pinoy, I think it's called. And when we were in there, I was curious. So I spoke to one of the girls working there, And she said, I asked her why there was hardly any Filipinos in KL, and she said it was because of the pandemic. So what happened was, during the pandemic, a lot of the Filipinos and Filipinas were repatriated back to the Philippines. And that must have been epic, because there was a lot in Malaysia or KL. And the only time I saw any Filipinos really was in Kotaraya. So it's kind of a shame, because, I've got fond memories of my time there. I met a lot of Filipinas. During our time there, we made a lot of friends, and my wife, she had a lot of friends there. So it's a wee bit of a shame that it is what it is, I guess. Other changes I've noticed, and my friend Andy mentioned this, you don't see so many white expats, be it Europeans, I say white, I'm not racist, Westerners, Europeans, Australians, Americans. It's completely changed. So I don't really know why that is. He thought that the Malaysian Tourist Board were maybe not doing enough. But since I came back, I've read up on what's been happening, and I did read that, I think it was in January this year, 2024, the Tourist Board of Malaysia have actually removed the fee for Chinese tourists. So the Chinese tourists can come in now on a 30-day visa waiver. So they get 30 days without paying. So they're trying to encourage tourism. That's one thing. The other thing is the MM2H program. Now that's just been changed. So the rules for that are all different for 2024. Now I don't know if this is because they're trying to encourage expats to go back to Malaysia. I'm not sure why there's less European or Western expats in KL. I can't put my finger on it. One thing I would say is, when I was there, I worked in the oil and gas industry, and at that time it was booming. This is obviously long before COVID, and Malaysia were paying for experienced expats, experienced oil and gas professionals to come over to Malaysia and work. Well, I was already in Southeast Asia anyway. At that time I was in Indonesia. So I know for a fact that they are not paying the money in the oil and gas industry now. Not just Malaysia, worldwide. And it's just one of these things, times move on. Nowadays we've got people who are prepared to work for less. It's not like the old days. So with that in mind, that's another reason why there'll be probably less Westerners in Malaysia. The MM2H program is now, what they've done is, it looks like they've made it easier to understand, but I don't know if it's easier to join, because I had a read up on it, and what they're saying now is, if you want to join the MM2H program, you've got to put down a bond of 500,000 Malaysian ringgit. Well, that's £83,000 or 105,000 US. Now, how many people have got that kind of money sitting around? And that is only for, I think it's 5 years renewable. So after 5 years, you've got to renew it. Presumably you have to go through the medical and everything again. You also have to have health insurance. But I think they've relaxed the rules whereby previously you had to have a certain amount of income, like a pension every month. I'm not too sure, I just had a quick read at the website. So that's maybe another factor why maybe there's less Westerners. Don't get me wrong, I had a fantastic time there, and it's still a great place. You know, even more so now with the infrastructure. They're moving forward with the infrastructure at a huge rate of knots. But the loss of the OFWs is I would say detrimental to Malaysia, because I loved the diversity. You know, you had Indians, Bangladesh, Filipinos, Myanmar, and I can say when I was there, it's mostly Indians. Certainly the places I went to, but yeah, of course you're going to get some other nationalities, but not like it was before, pre-pandemic. So what does that mean for Malaysia? Well, I would say not a lot. You know, it's still a fantastic place to be. If you've got the money in and you are looking to retire somewhere, then it's a great place to retire. Absolutely no doubt about that. Price-wise, I would say in the 5 years plus that I've been gone, prices have gone up quite a bit. For example, I was paying for a bottle of wine. I was paying over 200 ringgit, and that is way more than I paid before. Probably almost double. So yeah, you know, things move on, prices go up, but I think the accommodation is still affordable. So with that in mind, guys, I think Malaysia is still a great place to retire or even to work. You know, if you can be lucky enough to get a job there, I would say go for it. If the money's right and you can make it work, definitely. I just felt a bit sad that you know, the OFWs were no longer there in force. Kind of sad. It was good to see all the old places. I visited my old apartment in near Chankat, and I met a couple of people that I knew from before. Obviously a lot has changed, but when it comes to people who are living there, but I did meet a few people, so that was good. Just a great place to be, and I hope that I'll be back there soon. You know, I wanted to get my wife to come over, my wife and son, but the wee man has school, so she didn't want to pull him out of school. And I thought about going to the Philippines when I was there, but I only had 8 days, and then I would have to stay overnight in Manila, fly the next day to Daraga, so it wasn't really feasible. Anyway guys, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.